voice beneath the lake. Prologue. There's a lake in northern Maine that doesn't appear on most maps. Locals call it Elder's Hollow. They say that when the fog rolls in at night, you can hear someone calling your name from the water. And if you answer, you never come back the same. Chapter 1. The Assignment. Liam Foster was a documentary filmmaker. Not famous, but dedicated. He specialized in real haunted places, the kind of YouTube documentaries that built loyal followings of night owls and skeptics alike. When an anonymous viewer emailed him coordinates to an unnamed lake in Maine, claiming it was the most haunted place in the US, he felt the rush of curiosity that always preceded something terrible. The email had only one line beneath the coordinates. The voice beneath isn't what it seems. Liam packed his camera gear, drone, tent, and audio recorders. He was driving there alone. Chapter 2. The Vanishing Town. The GPS stopped working halfway there. No signal, no bars, only pine trees and the endless hum of his car's tires. By dusk, he reached what used to be the town of Marrow Creek. It wasn't on modern maps anymore. Just a scattering of rotting houses, half swallowed by the forest. He parked near the lake. The water was black and still, reflecting the dying light like a mirror. The first thing he noticed was the silence. No birds, no wind, just quiet. He set up camp, filmed his intro. It's October 13th, 11:47 p.m., and I'm here to spend the night at Elder's Hollow Lake, said to be home to the voice beneath, and hit record. Chapter 3. The first night. Around 2:00 a.m., while recording ambient audio, Liam heard it. A voice, faint, distant, calling his name. Liam. He froze. The air was still. The lake was calm. He whispered into the recorder, "If someone's out there, say that again." Silence. Then, Liam. He scanned the tree line with his flashlight. No movement. Then, from the lake, a ripple, as if something had surfaced and sunk again. He tried to convince himself it was the wind, but deep down, he knew it wasn't. Chapter 4. The Whisper Recording. The next morning, Liam reviewed his audio footage. At the 2:14 a.m. mark, he heard something that chilled him. The voice wasn't just calling his name. It was repeating his own words from the night before. In the same tone, the same inflection, but slower, deeper, distorted. "If someone's out there, say that again." It wasn't an echo. It was mimicry. He uploaded a short clip to his YouTube channel as a teaser. Within hours, thousands of comments poured in. Some said it was fake. Some said they heard something else in the background. A second whisper beneath the main one saying, "Come closer." Chapter 5. The Old Cabin. That afternoon, he found a narrow trail leading around the lake. Halfway through, he discovered a collapsed cabin eaten by moss. Inside was a rusted bed frame, a broken camera tripod, and a leather notebook. The first page read, March 7th, 1983, "We've been hearing her again. The lake keeps calling our names." The entries that followed told the story of a family that moved to the lake decades ago. Each night, they heard voices mimicking their loved ones, even those who'd already died. The final entry ended abruptly. "She's beneath the ice now. I can see her face through the cracks." Liam shut the book. His hands were trembling. When he looked outside, fog had rolled across the lake, thick and white, swallowing the shoreline. Chapter 6. The Drone Footage. That night, he launched his drone to capture aerial shots. Through the camera feed, the fog looked alive, writhing, almost breathing. As he flew over the center of the lake, something appeared beneath the surface. At first, it looked like a pale shape, a stone maybe. Then it moved. It was a face, eyes wide open, mouth distorted in a silent scream. The drone signal cut out. When Liam checked the footage later, the timestamp glitched, jumping backward by exactly 13 seconds, over and over again. Chapter 7, The Voice of the Dead. The voice returned that night, stronger, closer. "Liam, help me." He recognized it this time. It was his sister's voice. His sister had drowned when he was 10 years old. He dropped his camera, heart pounding, and stumbled toward the water's edge. There, through the fog, he saw a silhouette, small, familiar, standing knee-deep in the lake. "Mia," he whispered. The figure turned. Its eyes glowed white, and then it smiled, impossibly wide. He ran. Chapter 8, The Tape. Inside his tent, Liam locked the zipper and played the last recording from his camera. Static, then whispering, dozens of overlapping voices. When slowed down, the whispers formed words. "Under the lake. Follow the sound. We are waiting." He scrolled through old news archives he'd saved offline. There it was. A headline from 1984. "Family of 6 vanishes near Marrow Creek. Only the youngest daughter's body recovered, found beneath the frozen lake." Her name was Mia Foster. Chapter 9, The Descent. The next morning, Liam tied a rope around his waist and prepared to dive. The camera was strapped to his chest. He wasn't leaving without answers. The water was freezing. Visibility less than a meter, but at a depth of 10 feet, he saw something that didn't belong. A wooden structure, like an old pier, collapsed under the water. He swam closer. Carvings covered the planks. Words in Latin, crudely scratched. "Vocem tenebris," voice of darkness. And beneath it, in the silt, dozens of faces. Pale, still, eyes open. When he tried to swim back up, the rope pulled tight. Something was holding him. A whisper brushed against his ear underwater. "Stay." Chapter 10, The Other Side. He broke free and surfaced, gasping, pulling himself to shore. But something was wrong. The trees looked different. The cabin was gone, and the air was silent, unnaturally still. He checked his camera. The display flickered, showing a distorted reflection of himself. But the reflection smiled before he did. The voice spoke again. From behind him this time. "You never left the water." He turned and saw himself standing there, dripping wet, eyes black, smiling. Chapter 11, The Lost Footage. 2 weeks later, a group of hikers found Liam's tent, half submerged near the lake. His camera was still recording. Battery dead. On the recovered footage, Liam walks into the fog. Hours pass. At exactly 3:13 a.m., a second Liam emerges from the lake, expressionless, eyes hollow. He looks directly into the lens and says, "Do you hear it too?" Then the camera turns toward the water. Something massive moves beneath the surface, a shape stretching across the entire lake, whispering thousands of voices in unison. Chapter 12, The Upload. 3 days later, the footage appeared on Liam's YouTube channel. No one knows who uploaded it. The video was titled The Voice Beneath the Lake, full documentary, and it ended with Liam's voice, calm and familiar, saying, "If you hear your name while watching this, don't answer. It means the lake has already found you." In the comments, hundreds of viewers claim to have heard whispers through their headphones. Some saying the voice called their real name. A few accounts disappeared shortly after posting. Epilogue. A park ranger reported that the lake's shoreline had begun to sink, forming new cracks around the water. When sonar equipment was lowered to measure its depth, the readings came back impossible. The lake floor was moving. At night, the fog returns thicker than ever, and if you stand quietly at the edge, you might hear a familiar voice saying your name. If you do, don't look at the water, because it's already looking back.